but I am going to talk to you about me, because your Get Out the Vote effort is important to me. And so let me just take a few minutes, if I can, to tell you that on Saturday night, I was in Youngstown with Congressman John Lewis. And Congressman John Lewis talked about in 1961, and he was so humble because he said, I shed a little blood on the Edmund Pettus Bridge. Well, if any of you watched the 50th anniversary specials last year on the 50th anniversary of the Freedom Riders, you know he didn't shed just a little bit of blood. His skull was cracked open. And he talked about how they marched and endured beatings and knew they would endure jail so that they could get the right to vote for all citizens in this country. And so I just want to take a few minutes to tell you the importance of the work that you will do over the next 36 days to encourage people to vote, not just for the top of the ticket, but to vote all the way down the ticket. We have not elected a Democrat to the Ohio Supreme Court in 12 years. 12 years. We are a politically diverse state. We should not be a state that has an all one party Supreme Court. You that as you're going out talking to your friends and neighbors and families about the importance of voting, remind them to go all the way down the ballot. I will be the last race after the two other Supreme Court races at the end of the ballot just before issue 2. So if you want me to stay, and I will tell you, it has been my honor being the Democrat on the Supreme Court and representing people like my mother, people like you, who even though she found herself pregnant as a teenager, had 2 children after me with different fathers, had to work in a factory by day and oftentimes took us to an office building that she cleaned at night, that she never lost hope in the fact that we could be anything that we wanted to be, that education was the great game changer. And so if you want me to stay, it's going to be because you tell people to vote all the way down. Let me give you some statistics. If this is the reality, there is a 30% drop-off from the top of the ticket to Supreme Court races. In 2006, Governor Strickland carried this state by 23 points. Not one Democrat got elected to the Supreme Court. Not one. A 23-point lead. He swept in every other legislative candidate, statewide office holder, but not Supreme Court. In 2008, President Obama carried Ohio by 250,000 votes. Our Supreme Court candidates lost by over 1 million votes. So if you want me to stay, and I will, you've got to be intentional about helping me remain there. And this is one other thing, and I'm going to close on this. Actually, I have 2. One is my daughter. I'm asking you to help rebut her vote. She's 25. She doesn't get this public service thing. She keeps saying, I need you back in the private sector, Mom. How much longer are you going to keep doing this? This is ridiculous. You know, I keep telling her she's got to get off my payroll. So, if she's off my payroll, she don't have to worry about how much money I make. So I need you to go, because I'm not confident that she's voting for me, so I need you to go out and cancel her out. Secondly, what I need you to do is when you talk to your friends and neighbors, yes, tell them that I'm the only Democrat on the court. Yes, tell them that I'm the first African-American woman in 208 years to serve on the Supreme Court of Ohio. But then also make sure you tell them this. While those 2 things are great, I'm the best candidate in this race. Evaluated by 5 bar associations, including the Ohio State Bar Association, which gave me a highly recommended. The other 4 gave me an excellent. My opponent has been evaluated by those same 5 bar associations. She got a not recommended by 4 and an adequate by 1. It was the Women's Bar Association. They didn't want to go against one of their own, so she got an adequate. And my opponent, who's a former police officer and talks about her experience as a law enforcement officer, ladies, the State Fraternal Order of Police endorsed me. The people who know her best, lawyers and police officers, said no thank you. Make sure you tell your neighbors that. Thank you very much.